what you are doing. If you eat well, you will look well. If you don't eat well, then you will not get any results. So it's definitely a fundamental to fitness. It's definitely a fundamental to sports.
Guys, the prompt is the next thing. If you're not on, get on, okay?
It's important to have self-knowledge, to research so that you can have a better advantage in whatever opportunities you're trying to create. How has that really helped you?
I think it's helped me a lot because also the person I've become is not the person I can say I was like a few years ago. The older I've grown, the more I guess I would say wiser or more realistic about certain situations. Like I've always been an optimist, always. I still am. But right now I'm like an optimist who is still realistic. Like I know what's possible and what's impossible. So with the knowledge I have, I think it's enough to carry me to where I need to go next. So yeah, I completely agree with that.
So let's talk about connections, right? Like, how important is it today, like in what you're doing and what I'm doing, to connect with other people? Because sometimes a lot of people think they can do things on their own, and that's not
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah. No, I get you. For me, I've never been a person who thinks anything is accomplished by yourself. Like, I can never just give credit to myself and be like, oh, I made it here because of me. Because of me, I am who I am. It's never been the case. I mean, yes, I'm the biggest factor, but many people have influenced the way I think, the way I move, my motivation, what keeps me going. Like, connections is the only way to succeed in this day and age. Like, you can be the smartest human like on planet Earth, but if nobody knows of you, or no one of importance, how are you going to who's going to prove that you're smart, or who's going to want to work with you? So for me, it's a thing of each impression I make on every artist I meet, or every person I meet in general, is something I want them to be able to testify about and be like, no, this girl is someone you'd want to work with, or she's someone who, once you connected to her, she would definitely support you, or she would definitely like help you lift your business up. Like, that's just the person I've built myself to be. So connections for me is a big thing. It's a very big thing. If I can get big connections, um, and even the connections I get from other connections. It's not just like myself all of a sudden, getting half of these people. Yeah. So connections is very important, especially with what we're both doing, like in terms of interviews and all of that. If you don't know anyone, like for example, if you want someone's details and you saw them on my show, obviously I would go hit them up and be like, okay, so this guy wants you for his interview. I mean, that already has helped you like way more than if you had to go and DM them. They're gonna probably ignore you for a bit. And then after a while, when they see that, oh no, they've worked with so and so, that's when they would actually like give you the time of day. Like even with me, with the way I started off, people looked at me and they're like, who's this chick? Because I literally had no connections. But until I started interviewing people like Bombshell, KB, Natasha Chansa, Mix, like all these people, now people are like, oh no, okay, she's actually someone to give our time of day to. So connections are very important.
Putting yourself out there as an entertainer or a hustler, is very difficult sometimes, and since you lived in South Africa and you have an experience of Zambia, how different is it, when you compare the two? Like, is Zambia harder or South Africa is harder for artists?
For me, it was always South Africa. South Africa is just, it's a jungle. It's a jungle, and not in the terms of the way here the streets are wild. I will give you that. Zambia, Zambia's streets are wild. Like it's crazy. It's booky out here. But in terms of profession and all of that, and like putting yourself out there, South Africa is a jungle. If you're not ready, if you're not quick enough, if you're not fast paced, you will get lost. And apart from getting lost, you will not be able to make a name for yourself anyway. Like people there are very competitive. It's literally wherever you turn this competition, and you have to push like beyond boundaries to, like, even get yourself noticed. So for me, I struggled. I really struggled when I was there, but also because I was very introverted. I only started becoming an extrovert recently, actually. But you need to push. You need to get your name out there. So South Africa for me is definitely not the easiest place to get your stuff heard. Zambia is more accepting, like in terms of, I would say they're more supportive here. If they see that you're trying. But in SA, trying isn't enough. You have to go the extra mile. Yeah.
What is the foreseeable future of the real talk? What are people going to look forward to?
Well, with Real Talk, I have so many plans for it. I want it to become not just a show, but like a brand. Like when someone thinks Real Talk, like it's not just one thing, it's not just a radio show or a live that you see on Instagram every week. It's something that you look forward to, hopefully even in the future a TV show maybe. But I want it to be something people like remember, and they're like, no, if you get on Real Talk, you get noticed. Or if you get on Real Talk, people hear your stuff, no matter how unknown you are. Like you have a chance if your stuff is good, and if you're putting in the effort, then you will get heard. So for now, I'm not going to put anything like in solid stone out there, but I just, yeah, I think Real Talk is going to be something big with time. Yeah.
Going back to creating opportunities, right? Like with what you do, obviously you have to reach out to different people, and not all of them just accept there and then. So, what do you do when somebody rejects you today and then later on they're like, what, I want to work with you?
All are welcome. For me, all are welcome. I'm never someone who's going to shut you out because of a past experience. Many people tell you this. You could have done me like dirty, or you could have like been wrong or come across as rude. That is not going to change my opinion of you, because I know everyone has their moments, everyone has their downfalls. So if I thought you were worth interviewing in the start, then you're still worth interviewing now. So why not? I would still accept them, still make a plan. Probably it won't be there and then, because now my show is more structured, and I know who's going to be interviewed here and which month, and all of that. So it's all about also timing and space, and like there's so many factors now. Before I took whoever, because I didn't have as many people trying to get an interview. But now it's a bit more, I need to think about it wisely. Okay, so if I interview you, how are you going to benefit the show on this specific week? What can you bring to the table? So yeah, I guess I would still like accept them, even if before they didn't see the value of Real Talk.
What is your advice to somebody who's out there and who wants to build the courage to start their own show or pursue their passion?
Okay, for me, I would start with nothing is impossible. If you had that dream, there's a reason you have that dream. There's a reason you have that passion. There's a reason why God put in your heart. For me, that's what I've always believed. If something is not meant for you and it's not right, you know, you feel it inside your heart. Like when you're doing it, you're just like, why am I even doing this? Or it'd be a thing of, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to wake up. I don't want to talk to anyone, you know? So if you're trying to start something, firstly, it has to feel right. And you, if it's a dream or a passion, go for it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because everyone will be like, who are you, why are you doing this? And obviously after that, there's factors such as building a brand. You need to be able to keep building that brand. It shouldn't stop with when a few people like notice you. It should continue going, and even when people aren't noticing you, keep pushing, because eventually we'll get somewhere. I can say this coming from where I started. Nobody knew who I was. So like, the fact for you to even want to interview me is the thing of a few months ago. Like I was chilling in my room doing my own things. I could go like hours without my phone, but now, if even a day, like I'm gonna miss an interview, I'm gonna miss someone wanting an interview or like an important email or something. So it starts small, but don't let that stop you. And then lastly, I'd probably say keep supporting others. I know that's not something people usually think about. They're like, but this is for me. I'm doing it for me. Why should I care about what's happening for others? Crazy enough, when you support others, others support you.
Yeah.
So that is something I've always lived by. That is something I've seen in my life. So if you keep, pushing for others, what's going to stop them from doing the same for you? So as you climb the ladder, don't forget the people that helped you up in the first place? So, yeah, someone who's trying to chase their dreams.
Okay, I hear what Lena is saying, and but should I be doing it once in a while or consistent? So, how important is consistency in modern day with all these things that are coming up?
You are talking to someone who is terrible with consistency. Like, I don't know how many things in my lifetime I've started. Like, my parents would tell you, I don't know how many ventures and how many things. Like, there was once I was selling Herbalife. I don't even know what happened to that, but I've tried everything. I was doing makeup. I've tried, I don't know, like there's so many things I've tried. But for me, it's a thing of once you know it's right for you, you keep to it. But be consistent. Like with me, there are weeks where I'm just like, maybe I can disappear because, like I told you, I'm an ambivert. I'm introverted and I'm extroverted at the same time. So I like disappearing sometimes. But right now, with what I'm doing with Real Talk, I don't have that privilege anymore of disappearing and just going quiet. So I have to be consistent, even though sometimes I don't feel like it. I need to keep going. So that's basically what success is about. Consistency is key. And even with me, who's still learning, who still really struggles with it, um, consistency is very important. You have to keep at it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Where can people reach you on your social media platforms?
If they want to reach me, firstly, you can DM me. That's on Instagram or Facebook. Both of them is Lennah Mk. Instagram, it's Lennah Mk, all small letters, underscore, and then Facebook, it's just look for Lennah Mk. It's spelled LENNAH, and then capital MK. If you want to email me, it's lennahkawanu@gmail.com. And if you want to hit me up, my contact details are also on my Instagram. So I'm sure it will be easier for you to go there and then, work from there. So yeah, I guess you can email me, you can contact me, you can DM me, whatever feels right for you.
Thank you for coming on this show.